I just received word from the R&D team and the transport team out of Afghanistan. They finished installing Sahelanthropus on the base. It's ours now.
All right. Don't let any of the staff touch that thing. Especially Emmerich.
Of course. That guy's crush on Sahelanthropus is beyond a joke. Guess he really wants to see his tech stand on its own two legs this time.
That's not gonna happen.
I know it. So you've got no plans to make it operational again?
Damn right.
Boss, I want to hear it straight from you.
Hear what?
What the hell do you want with that thing? The drive is busted. It's not like it has a nuke on board. Even if the metallic archaea could turn it into a nuclear weapon, all it can do is self-destruct. Sahelanthropus just isn't a weapon anymore. It'll draw unwanted attention without even being a deterrent.
I know.
The weapon's development strut sank 2 feet under that thing's weight. That's 1 year's drop in a single night. We've started on reinforcing the strut, but there's no guarantee it'll hold up if a storm hits.
I know that too.
Boss, why keep it?
It's a mark. Us Diamond Dogs, we don't have a country to call home. That means we have no past, nothing to prove that we lived. Every one of us threw it all away when we came here. Sahelanthropus is a symbol to show that the likes of us brought at least one crisis to its end.
A mark in history. So we can't just fade away.
It's of no practical use to us. But we still need it.
A symbol of what we've done. I'm glad I sounded you out on this. Snake, on behalf of all of us, I want to thank you.
I don't need gratitude. I need security. Keep Emmerich away from that thing.
Roger that.
Emmerich uses externally powered legs of his own design. It's bionics technology, a product of the U.S. military's failed attempt to develop a powered exoskeleton. All the wearer has to do is apply a little force, and the actuators continue the movement in that direction. But his legs are unique. Instead of using a hydraulic mechanism, the actuators run off metallic archaea. That increases the actuator's reaction speed and also enables him to lock and release the joints at will. The legs are a nifty little gadget, but they have 2 clear weaknesses. First, they're dependent on external power, maybe because he built them knowing he couldn't leave his lab. There's no internal battery. That's why they won't work if they aren't plugged in. Second, and this is more than just a weakness, the legs are directly connected to his bones. Could be to minimize signal loss in the order's output to the legs and the drive response from them. Either way, Emmerich has used bolts to attach load-bearing parts directly to his femurs, probably by mimicking surgical treatment for compound fractures and the like. But the end result is those legs and his body are fused together. And that appears to be how he's able to move them so precisely. But that also means that any shock to the legs would be delivered right to his bones by way of those bolts. The same is true if he encounters the corrosive metallic archaea. If the corrosive archaea ate into the exposed bolts, they'd reach the endoskeleton parts and eat through them too in the blink of an eye. The doctor's bones are full of holes to accommodate all the bolts. They're like sponges. If he were to lose the reinforcing parts, even the tiniest bit of force or weight would snap his bones. So when I dangled those corrosive metallic archaea in front of him, he realized straight away what would happen. Life wouldn't be worth living if he lost those legs of his. I'd bet that is what the doctor fears the most. I just helped him imagine what it would be like. Thanks to that, I got the information we needed without either of us getting hurt. You know how he is. He's probably already over the shock. The better you know your adversary, the easier it is for you to get information from them. And vice versa.
You said that the nuke Skullface was trying to spread around the world were equipped with a failsafe. Something that could shut them down at will. His will.
Quite so. After all, he needed a guarantee that a buyer wouldn't simply turn the weapons back on him.
So how can they be stopped?
The criticality trigger, that is, the detonator, is a complete black box design. Any attempt to dismantle it causes it to melt in seconds, using the corroding archaea. The design ensures that no detonation is possible unless he disengages the lock.
So he had a way to disengage it remotely.
Precisely. The client simply presses a button. At that moment, the detonator begins transmission with a surveillance satellite. The satellite reports to him how the client is trying to use the nuke. If he does not object, the lock is disengaged.
But if it's a risk to him in any way,
The detonator melts down. The same is true if detonation does not occur within a preset time after the lock is disengaged. The nuke is rendered useless.
Who the hell would buy something with strings attached like that?
The client would never know until the moment they actually try to use it. Most likely, he would have explained the time delay as the detonators needing time to activate. And he only intended to sell to technologically primitive groups in the first place.
let me guess. He'd claim it was defective and offer a replacement. Shadier than a used car salesman.
Skullface shakes your hand like a friend, using the other to control you like a puppet. This is how he works.
Code Talker. Haven't seen you eat a single thing since you got here. Let me guess. Photosynthesis?
Oh? What makes you say that?
Well, a long time ago, I knew someone with a similar ability.
Well, you are correct. Most of my body is covered with parasites. I supply them with water, and in return I receive sugars they produce when exposed to light.
Uh-huh.
It isn't just my skin either. The parasites also act as my eyes. They have replaced many of my internal organs as well. It is thanks to them that I live on after over a century.
How did you obtain them anyway? Through your research?
I would like to say as much, but there is more to it than that. Let me take you back 20 years. I had hit a dead end with my parasite research. Then I was approached by a foundation. They said they had a sample of an unusual strain of parasite.
Which foundation?
Apparently, they had links to ARPA. But that is all I learned. I was somewhat ignorant of the ways of the world. Just being able to study it was enough for me.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Go on.
Half in doubt, I visited them to discover the body of an old man. Well, to be precise, his partial remains. A collection of parts, you could say. The man had died in an explosion.
An old man, you say?
His flesh had not decomposed. In fact, the tissue's cells were still metabolizing. The parasite had infected, or should I say assimilated with, the tissues, and was keeping them alive. I became obsessed with studying the body parts, foregoing food and even sleep. Every day was filled with new discoveries. The parasite's biology, internal anatomy, life cycle. But there was only so much I could learn through observation. And so I made a decision. To truly know the parasites, I had to live with them.
So, you implanted them inside you from the dead man's flesh?
Correct. It was quite a gamble, whether or not they would adapt to me. But fortunately, it appears I was compatible with them. Or perhaps, through my many years of research, my immune system learned to tolerate them.
Were they that body's only parasite?
Yes. However, there was a separate specimen that supplied its host with adrenaline in response to pain. and yet another that could control insects at will through secreting heterogeneous pheromones. I wanted exposure to them, to take them into me, but my wishes were denied. Their records, though, provided clues that helped advance my research. Would you care to join me? A life spent never worrying about food is a most wonderful one.
I think I'll pass. But thanks. This has been helpful.
Skullface has finally burned out. The world is rid of his existence at last.
Was he still alive?
You could say that. But you could also say he'd been dead for decades.
What's that supposed to mean?
Biologically speaking, it's hard to say how much was his life.
Side effects from the treatment?
No, the primary effect. Keeping a dying host alive as long as possible. That is the whole point. But in the end, he grew too dependent on his children. As if he had any other way to keep on living. He first underwent parasite therapy before the Soviet Union became his home. His body was horribly burned. Fire washed across his thin young frame and stole his skin and his throat, even his lungs. Only through repeated therapies could the parasites keep him alive. Most of his life became something the parasites gave to him.
And then he lost the ability to die.
That is correct. The parasites live on past the host's death, still aiding cell composition. At that stage, there is no way to extract them from the host cells. There is no way of knowing when the last cell of Skullface's body would die. The only choice was to burn the whole thing. And his children, along with it. And I am one to talk. When my life is snuffed out, I expect you to treat my body the same way. And when I burn, I will truly be one with my children for the first time. You say there were 3 English vocal parasites.
According to Skullface, yeah.
Skullface had 2 of the English strain with him. You burned both of them.
There was an oil fire. I tossed him in.
So that just leaves 1. And you tell me Skullface said he used it.
He said it was very close to me.
Very close. One of your comrades. Or someone ordered to kill you. Or he could have been speaking metaphorically.
Metaphorically?
Close to your spirit. Close to your heart. Someone who either loves you or despises you.
The second one makes a long list.
Whichever it is, act with caution. Skullface implanted someone with the English language strain. Who it is irrelevant.
Why?
I tell you what Skullface really meant. Very close to you means you will be exposed. All the infected here have been given the Wolbachia. Even if the vocal cord parasites infect them now, they cannot reproduce. But if there's a different host among us, host to the English strain.
If that were the case, we'd see the symptoms.
What about the non-English speakers?
We have plenty of those, but the staff use English as a common language.
But if that someone has not spoken English yet, and begins to speak it now,
there'd be another outbreak.
The final mating pair of the English strain must be found immediately. Skullface is gone, but his threat still remains. On this base, do you see what the final mating pair is? With him dead, those parasites are the stain he wished to leave upon the world. His thirst for vengeance. In the flesh. Think. Does anyone here bear a grudge against you? Who would target you, specifically?
The ethnic cleansers that Code Talker mentioned, they weren't Skullface's true goal. All we have is circumstantial evidence, but here's my theory.
Africa. Deploying. Marker placed. Marker placed. Marker placed. Marker placed.
Be careful down there, boss.
Has infiltrated and the map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. The map has been updated.
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination.
Help!
Analysis complete.
I thought I was there for sure.
Analysis complete.
Subject is in.
Updated. Climate approaching. Development complete.
Where are your friends?
The map has been development complete. Development project has been added. Marker placed. Ops list updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Extraction arrived at Mother's.
onderzoek die area. Maar blijf op je hoede. Uit.
Marker placed. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. The map has been updated.
Spit it out. Where are the others?
The map has been updated. Analysis complete.
Extract him.
Complete. Analysis complete.
On board. Leave the rest to us.
Hands up.
Please select a drop point. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Buddy departing area of operations. Please specify a project. Buddy has arrived. Development project has been added. Development project has been added. Weather will clear shortly. You have arrived at your destination. Please select a delivery point. The map has been updated. Analysis.
That's the target.
Schip is Delta 6. Visuele contact verloren. Keer terug naar laatste bekende positie. Over. Er is CP, begrijp. Houd die voort in. Punt, hulla. Uit. Flippen uitgelaat!
You have arrived at your destination. Sign-off completed.
Schip is Delta 6. Die vijand is weggekomen. Ons gaan onderzoeken. Over.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Contact verloren naar kruis. Vijand kan nog iemand naar mij wegkruis. Adresseer vaak mij. Over.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Boss, get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Schip is
Shortly.
Delta 6. Dat was een ontploffing. Schade onbekend. Over.
Please select a dispatch
Alle
request.
eenheden. Ons vermoedelijke indringers. Uit.
Buddy departing area of operations. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. The map has been updated. Please select a drop point.
Fire!
Analysis complete.
Alles kies verder, de CT. Ons wordt aangevallen. Alle eenheden beschermen jouw posities.
Analysis complete.
Cease cover fire!
Please select a deployment point. Buddy has infiltrated and the map has been updated.
Visuele contact verloren. Keer terug naar laatste bekende positie. Over. De CT, begrijp. Wees op je uitkijkt voor die enige beweging. Uit. CP, dit is routine.
Sun will rise momentarily.
De CP, begrijp. Wanneer laat jullie voorsprong niet? Goed die voort. Uit. HK. De CP. Ons weer die vijand ingetrekt, maar contact verloren naar kruisvuur. Vijand kan nog even nabij wegkruipen. Adviseer vast nabij.
The map has been updated. Analysis complete.
Fire! Fire!
Kom in, Delta 3. Alle skitsmannen, de CT. Alle eenheden, naar advance-positie. Herhaal. Alle eenheden, naar advance-positie.
Caution, rain approaching. Analysis complete. Marker removed.
7 is Delta 4. Visuele contact verloren. Keer terug naar laatste bekende positie. Over. De CT begrijpt. Onderzoek die area. Maar blijf op jullie hoede. Uit.
Please select a delivery point. Outpost captured. Please select a delivery point. Analysis complete. Marker placed. Development complete. Development complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Development project has been added.
You gonna extract him?
Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Extraction arrived at mother base.
That's the target.
Extraction arrived at mother base. Developer removed. Weather will clear shortly. Extraction arrived at mother base. detected. The map has been updated.
Fire! Fire!
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map
That's
has
the
been
target.
updated.
Fire!
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Cover me!
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Stand down! Where are your friends? Spit it out. Speak.
The map side op completed. Side ops list updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. You have arrived at your destination.
Ceasefire!
Buddy has infiltrated our extraction arrived at Mother Base. Marker placed. detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination.
Fire!
Enemy presence detected. Has been updated.
Fire! Fire!
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Good. You captured it alive. It's a pretty rare animal you caught.
Side ops list updated.
Skull. The ethnic cleansers that Code Talker mentioned, they weren't Skullface's true goal.
All we have is circumstantial evidence, but here's my theory. It was Cypher who started developing the vocal cord parasites as bioweapons, parasitic weapons, and Africa was the testing ground for them. As Code Talker said, their purpose is the ethnic cleansing of only those who speak a particular language. So they could do a weapon of mass destruction to eradicate specific groups, races, ethnicities, or colonies by the language they speak. Or a kind of absolute language control. Or maybe a tool for those arrogant fools to build some misguided utopia. I could see plenty of uses for them. However, in practical terms, they wouldn't be as dangerous as you think. Counteracting the parasites is easy, after all. Cut them out of your throat to save your life, or just don't talk. That also prevents the infection from spreading. So if the international community were to find out about them, they'd no longer be the threat they were conceived to be. In which case, their targets would be limited to minority groups as a deterrent or a terrorist tool. It's hard to imagine Cypher developing something like that as a main weapon for their arsenal. That leads me to think we've only tugged on one little thread in Cypher's grand tapestry. An obscure corner of their work, possibly forgotten altogether. In any case, things changed. When Skullface was forced to relocate to Africa and he saw that thread dangling. All the time he continued that research, he was secretly following his own agenda. The ethnic liberator parasites, his English language strain.